I'm using an Atlas 150 pasta machine or maker today. It's a real superior pasta machine. Cost a little bit more money, but I think it makes beautiful pasta. I do have other brands that I use, but as long as they're made in Italy, I think that's the best bet. Your pasta maker will come with a vice grip that will hold the machine down. It will come with a handle that you can crank your pasta out with. And then they all come with a spaghetti and a fettuccine attachment. And usually an instruction book too. Now here are these little slots on either side of the base of your machine, and they're going to be also on the attachment, and you're going to slide them into each other, and that will attach your fettuccine spaghetti part to your base part. Slide these in really gently because you really actually can bend these, and you don't want to do that. There you go. It just took a second. It's very easy. So find the right place to attach your pasta machine to. Get it right at the edge of wherever it's going to be, probably on a countertop. Mine fits just right, but sometimes they don't. So here's the vice grip, and you're going to want to put that right into that large lower hole. And then you're just going to want to screw it in until your pasta machine is really stable. You don't want it moving around as you're making your pasta. And it's not moving, and that's what I want. So here's the hand crank, and we're going to put this over where the roller section is in that large hole. Make sure you push that in all the way. Just wiggle it around and it'll fit. Always turn your handle clockwise. So let's make pasta, and I'll show you how to use your pasta machine. It's great to make your pasta on your kitchen table, but you can also buy a pasta board, which I have. But my grandmother made her pasta every single week on her kitchen table. Just give yourself enough room. I'm using all-purpose flour today, but you could use a 00 flour too. I have 4 extra large eggs here, and I have some kosher salt that really helps with pasta dough flavor. And now I'm going to put 3 cups of flour on my board. So now make a well in the center of your flour. Give yourself plenty of room, because if you don't, your eggs are going to kind of tumble out of this wall of flour. I give it a really good amount of space. Crack your 4 eggs into the center of your well. Now I like to take my teaspoon of kosher salt or sea salt and sprinkle it all the way around the flour. I don't like to throw it right into the eggs. I'm going to take a fork and start scrambling my eggs. Just be really careful and get them really beaten up as much as you can. So now it's time to start pulling some of the flour from the interior of your wall of flour and adding it into the eggs and beating it in slowly, a little at a time. Just be careful not to break that wall or your eggs will go flying out of there. It takes a little time, a little patience, but it all works out great. You can see how muddy and puddingy your egg mixture is going to be after a while. Now it's time to take the rest of the flour and collapse it into the egg mixture. I like to use a bench scraper. They're not that expensive. If you don't have one, you can use a spatula. So use your hands to start mixing everything up. It's going to be really dry for a while, and we are going to add some water to this. But every day is different with humidity, and I really like to wait and see if I need any water. And keep your hands really flat. Here's the water, and we're going to put in about 2 to 3 tablespoons to start. And if you don't need any more after that, that's great, but you may need a little more. I did. Yes, your dough is going to be really shaggy for a long time, but don't forget the eggs and the water really have to hydrate into your dough. It takes about 5 to maybe 10 minutes of kneading, and you're going to see a really huge difference after a while. You just have to be patient with this. I'm starting to see a difference already. You can see it's coming together. And when I took a pasta making class in Italy, they told me you don't always have to get every little bit off of the bottom. It is getting smoother on the bottom of my board now, but if you've got some little extra bits of flour, residual flour, you don't really have to work them in. You can leave them behind. So my dough is getting softer by the minute, and I think I'm just about ready to stop. Now I'm going to wrap my pasta dough in plastic wrap, and I'm going to let it sit for about 25 to 30 minutes. And it's going to hydrate even more. It's going to meet up with that liquid of eggs and water and get really soft and smooth. So put a little bit of flour on your pasta board and get your pasta dough on that, and we're going to take this and turn it into an oval shape or a log shape so we can cut slices off to be used to make our pasta. Now I'm going to just cut sections at a time off, and then I'm going to cover the rest of the dough so it doesn't dry out. This is a piece that I'm going to put through the machine to start making my pasta. Flatten it out into a rectangle and dip it in a little bit of that flour to get it a little bit dry so it doesn't stick in your pasta machine. Get yourself a cookie sheet or something similar to put your fresh made pasta on and have it nearby. I also like to sprinkle it with semolina flour, which is really the core of wheat. And it's sort of like little ball bearings, little marbles, and it will keep your pasta separated from each other. You don't want it to stick together. So now it's going to be time to get the roller ready for making the sheet of pasta. You'll see that there's different widths. It starts at 0 and it goes up to, I think, 9 on the Atlas pasta machine. Different machines are different from each other though on that. So 0 is going to be the widest on this machine, and that's what I want to start with. Place your piece of pasta dough right at the roller edge and push that through. Then fold it into thirds and put it through again. This is going to get your dough really nice and smooth. And then you're going to crank that through. And when that comes through, you're going to fold it in half and put it through one more time. And then you're ready to start opening up the width of your roller. And every time you do that and put it through, you're going to get a thinner piece of dough, and that's what you want. You want to go up to about number 7 on your roller so that you have a nice thin piece ready for your fettuccine. So I'm going up to number 1, and my roller is getting a little bit narrower. I'm going to pass my dough through, and I'm going to then go to number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up to 7. Once your dough gets a little bit long, the Italians are known for hanging their dough over their arm. That's just where they park it as they keep going along. It's really kind of cool to do. If the tip of your dough starts curling up, it's really hard to get it through the roller, so just stop for a minute and kind of flatten it out so you can manage to get that in the roller. The Italians also believe that if you can hold your pasta sheet up to the sunlight and put your hand behind it, and you can see the shadow, it's ready to go. I'm getting my cookie sheet with the semolina on it very close to my pasta machine, so when I cut my fettuccine, I can place it right on there. So move your handle from the roller section over to the fettuccine section. It's hard to get a good shot of this, but you can see the fettuccine coming out underneath the fettuccine cutter. You want to take it right out and place it on the semolina and make sure that you really coat it with the semolina flour, or if you're using regular flour, that's good. This way it'll separate. And as your dough sits all this time, it's going to get a little bit more wet to work with. It's absorbing every minute that flour and egg mixture. If your dough starts getting a little bit too sticky as you're making your pasta, just coat it with a light bit of flour and it's going to be fine. It's going to go through the pasta maker much better. Here we go, our whole ball of dough has been cut into fettuccine. Now it's time to clean our pasta machine. Never wash it with water. You just want to take a clean cloth and take every single piece of it and dust it off. I hope I answered all of your questions on how to make pasta from scratch, how to use a pasta machine, how to clean it. If you have any more questions, please leave them below in the description box or the comment box, and I'll answer them for you. You can now freeze your pasta if you don't want to eat it all, or you just wanted to make it ahead for a nice dinner. Make sure you lay it out flat in some kind of a Tupperware container and then pop it in the freezer. Make sure that there's some kind of semolina flour or regular flour on the bottom of your Tupperware or whatever your storage container will be. Then I would not defrost it. I would pop it right into boiling salted water. Cook it for about 3 minutes. Drain it, add your favorite sauce, and you're going to have a wonderful dinner. You'll be so spoiled by making your own pasta. Ciao and have a good day.